everyone! Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Epi, and we will be streaming a game of the International 2 qualifiers right now. It will be Quantic going up against Next.kz. Unfortunately, CLG against Navi did get postponed, but this game will be pretty promising as well. So, yeah, there's not much else to say there. Durka, welcome.
Oh, hello,
What?
Hypnotoad. Silly, silly man making me laugh.
What did Hypnotoad say?
Oh no, someone asking, like, hasn't the game started? And he was very straight with them.
Was he?
Yeah.
Who was the guy who won the beta key again? I forgot his name. Gideon Salter. Now that I slaughtered your name, have a shout out. Enjoy your beta key, and yeah, you will very soon get to know the loveliness that is the Dota 2 community. Very supportive, very nice, and they will make your life quite awesome. As you can see here, the Cyrillic language is being spammed through the Dota TV chat. Actually, I should have my console like activated to get rid of that, but that would mean I have to restart the game, so we'll have to deal with it for this one. But I promise next game I will get right on that. Okay, Quantic, Next.kz. Quantic did win yesterday, didn't they? Against who was it? Who did they play against?
No, Cater? No. No. Oh wow, I've got myself confused now. Was it Z Nation?
Well, you could perhaps
Yes,
just check.
it was Quantic against Z Nation. They won 2-1 because we missed the first game, and it was Next 2-0.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. We casted Z Nation and Quantic game 2, and I referred to it to game 1 during the whole time, and then I referred to game 3 as game 2, and then I kept on streaming for like 20 minutes, thinking the third game would come up any second. But oh well, this is Quantic against Next.kz. Next.kz obviously also now in the winner's bracket, led by Mantis. Painted Gold will be doing the draft for the Quantic side, gets rid of Broodmother right away. Solo hero that will be super annoying, and Mantis gets rid of Lycan. Again guys, thanks for tuning in, and excuse the 480p. Like seriously, it really annoys me as well. I would love to do it in 720, but I have to upgrade my processor, and I have to buy that, and I have to like build it into my computer without destroying everything. But I'll do it for you guys, and I'll get on it within this week or the next 2 weeks, and I will also have a new microphone as well. So yes. Invoker also banned out from Painted Gold. Chen will also not be seeing any play today. And just one more ban each until we get to see the first couple of picks here.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, thinking hard there. Mantis deciding with Chen, and then a Fury and instant response from Paint. Still see the Brewmaster sitting out. But these kind of bans against these teams, Next love playing Ursa, Quantic love playing that Morphling on Korok. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised to see Mantis just ban out that Morphling right now.
Oh, that's right, Korok. Of course, it's Quantic. Korok plays for Quantic, so he will play this game. And we still have Leshrac, but yeah, that's the thing. You gotta like weigh the odds. There's like Morphling is still left in the pool, and then we have Leshrac, we have Lone Druid, we have Brewmaster, as you said. Windrunner, of course, also still left in there. So like a bunch of these strong heroes, and Darkseer, I did not forget him this time. Shebang is also still in the pool, so Mantis right now has to pick his poison, but he might also go for like a meh kind of ban. So after Paint got like his pick out of those lovely picks, Mantis will be like, okay, then I will take 2 of those really strong heroes, and might find himself up ahead in the first pick phase.
Yeah, Mantis thinking really hard here, burning down into his bonus time. And I think he is considering what I was talking about. And as you said, there's still Brewmaster in the pool. Do you ban that out? Do you ban the Morphling? And do you ban the Lesh? And he's actually gone for that Leshrac ban. Morphling Enigma, first 2 picks for Quantic. Go.
Yeah, Morphling Enigma or Morphling Windrunner, or just Morphling and then go game 1v5 Korok. Well, but Paint does only have 1 hero to pick, and yeah, actually, it really seems that Quantic puts so much pressure on their Korok, and sometimes he breaks under all that pressure and then doesn't perform it. There we go. First pick Morphling Korok again will be the savior of the day if Quantic wins. because
Windrunner at
yeah,
your service.
yesterday we had some funny stuff when Slash joined us for the cast about you know, Morphling
Pick.
switching positions uh,
Replicate.
with his replicate, yeah. But I won't say that out loud now because apparently this might be misunderstood from many people. Windrunner and Brewmaster is the response pick from Mantis, so he does go for two of those very strong heroes that are left in the pool. Lone Druid is still in there, it comes to mind, and Darkseer has gone completely omitted for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
10 seconds remaining.
Dude, I can't even count. Yeah, it's 9.
5 seconds remaining.
3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1.
Ah! Yeah, he did get completely ignored throughout 9 picks or bans. So now Quantic, Painted Gold is like, why can't I have all these heroes? Has to pick 2 only.
Exactly. They've got to think really hard here about what they want to do because they did stutter a little yesterday against Z Nation in that second game. Z Nation came out with their strat. They picked what was it? It was Morphling Enigma first that they picked, wasn't it?
Mm.
Just to get into Quantic's faces, turn their picks against them, and it worked really well.
Yeah.
Reserve.
There's an Enchantress and a Shadow Demon. Enchantress going to be sitting in that forest looking to gank behind towers, and Shadow Demon an all-round great pick. Able to take someone out of the fight, able to amplify damage, and he's got a slow. Well, he's technically got 2 slows, but we don't usually see the Shadow Poison picked up until later on in the game with the Soul Catcher, usually the spell that's preferred to be maxed.
I love playing Shadow Demon, man. It is such a fun hero. So fun.
10 seconds.
Fun.
Really fun. It's just like... Well, actually, I played against Brewmother today, and I died once because I was dumb and didn't realize that when she does her... I should wait with my Demonic Purge until she pops her Insatiable Hunger. So I died once, and the second time I killed her, and then the flaming began, and then in the end we won the game, so... Yeah. Always good.
Did you ever see the movie Mars Attacks?
Probably around 10 years ago or so, but yeah, I did.
Do you remember the aliens from that movie?
Yeah.
Do they not look exactly like Shadow Demon?
Yeah, kind of.
Come on, man, they are identical.
Yeah, I bet the director from Mars Attack's gonna sue Ice Frog. Gonna be like, the F, man. That's a Mars Attacks dude you put into Dota 2. How dare you? And look at this. Brewmaster as well as Anti-Mage and Windrunner, so... Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Look at this, man. There's now in the second ban phase, obviously Painted Gold is going to look toward banning out the support heroes because that is what Mantis will be looking for desperately. And yeah, that EXP gold denying, frost armoring, ulti throwing Lich will be his ban of choice. And and Mantis bans out Beastmaster. Really good ban in my opinion. Would fit very well into the Quantic lineup as it stands right now. And there we go, Enigma gotten rid of as well, so that removes out a pretty effective jungler and also someone who will be able to assume that support role as well, and he can ward and do all that stuff.
Picking up an anti-mage after Morphling and Shadow Demon? What?
Yeah, that is interesting.
That's just Next giving the middle finger to Quantic, saying, we don't give a crap about you. You've got SD who can counter my anti-mage, and you've got Morphling. Well, Morphling and anti-mage sort of counter each other. But, you know, why? Why would they pick up anti-mage here as their hard carry when there's 2 pretty much counters on the opposite team?
10 seconds.
That's the Kazakh style, man. That's the way of the
5 seconds.
Kazakhstan people. Do you know, and like this American Idol thing, but American Idol in Kazakhstan, do you know the guy that has his like traditional guitar there and sings Freestyler from...
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I know what the video.
I don't want to imitate him now because I will make a definite ass out of myself. Lone Druid last ban, so again, second pick phase beginning now. Painted Gold will have the first pick, and I do think they are looking toward either a long lane solo or a mid hero, depending on what. I do assume that it will be morphing on Korok as well as whoever playing the Shadow Demon in the middle lane.
5 seconds.
And I call right now that unless Quantic picks it, Next.kz will pick up a Crystal Maiden because it would just fit perfectly.
Well, I'm not sure how it would fit into Quantic because, like you said, the Shadow Demon I think is going to be sitting with that Morphling at middle lane, just trying to get him some easy kills, disrupt the Panda, and try and nuke down the support whoever's with him, if that's how Next runs it. The Enchantress is going to be sitting in the jungle somewhere, so that leaves two solo lanes for Quantic. So I'm not sure if they're going to pick up a solo Syllabear to solo one of the lanes and something else. Well, it all depends because a lot of the solo laners have already been taken out. Windrunner, Enigma, Lich, Furion, all very good hard lane soloers. Broodmother as well, all taken out. Syllabear, sorry, has been banned there by Next.
Seconds remaining.
And look at this. 5,
5 seconds
4,
remaining.
3. The discussions in the Quantic side now going like crazy. Oh, come on, guys, what should I pick? Frick. And now he goes for
Well.
Nightstalker. He's like, I'm just going to click anything. And there you go, Nightstalker picked up. So will he go in the middle? Or will he go on the safe lane with Enchantress popping out the jungle every now and again?
That's a very good question because that would be an interesting lane with Enchantress ganking onto a Nightstalker. But it all depends on who they're up against because if that's a Windrunner on that bottom lane, it's going to be difficult for the two of them to pull anything off unless the Shadow Demon comes along for the ride.
Dude, you mentioned that the one hero you would not want to go up against in real life was Shadow Demon, but look at Nightstalker. Imagine like in the middle of the night there's like this face which is open and has teeth everywhere and basically kills you. Crystal Maiden.
Yeah.
Ew.
Radiant
Yeah, but Nightstalker would kill you. Shadow Demon would send you to hell for 2.5 seconds, so you're in an alternate dimension that is hell. then he'd burn you and
No,
slow
no,
you
no.
and
We
poison
don't
you.
we don't know what lies beneath the disruption, man. It could be heaven. And that would be even more bad because 2 seconds in heaven, that would suck, man. Once you come back to Earth, you'd be like, damn it. Because you'd be happy if you came back to Earth after 2.5 seconds in hell.
10 seconds.
You'd be pretty mad if you're like, oh, the Shadow Demon's gonna kill me. Oh, heaven, hello.
5
Oh,
seconds
shit,
remaining.
hi. And then you're back on Earth.
I am Shadow Shaman.
And a Shadow Shaman. What?
They don't have anyone to run the long lane effectively.
Unless they tri-lane it with Enchantress
Offensively jungling?
jungle. I don't know. Lots of things. Nightstalker mid with Rasta solo bottom with tri-lane top, or Nightstalker solo top with Enchantress in the Radiant Forest with a dual mid and Rasta solo bottom. I'm not entirely sure how they're going to lane this. Because that Nightstalker pick, as you pointed out, was very close to being a random. So they had to make a quick call there. And Next.kz taking their sweet time to pick their last pick here.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we can't paste links into chat, apparently. I tried to earlier and it just like, nope,
Oh, wow.
URL replaced.
Well, I'm just gonna say it then on stream. Damn it. You're not the master of me own TV. Epicommentary.com, guys. Earthshaker last pick here, so looking like a very well-rounded lineup here for Next.kz. But as you said, they have a bunch of counters for that anti-mage. So very, very interesting. Look at this. The streamers here: Toby1, Purge, Versuna, Luminous. Thanks not that you guys are choosing this one here to watch your game at. Maybe you're all just lurking for the beta keys. I know the type of you. Alright, Mikey on Quantic going to be on Shadow Demon babysitting Korok, most likely. Solara on Nightstalker will have to make sure he will get his levels up during the first day duration, and then might either go for ganking time during the night or use some of that night to continue farming. Last Hit Magic, of course, here on Enchantress. I'm Cyrillic here in the chat. Yo, let us... yeah, anyway, Painted Gold on Shadow Shaman, and toward the Quantic Next.kz side we have Lucky on the Earthshaker, 570 on Crystal Maiden, Mantis on Anti-Mage, as to be expected, and equal on Windrunner, as well as Stallcat on Brewmaster. So I'm interested to see how Quantic will lane this, and I hope the tactical pause will be over pretty soon.
Yeah, we've seen how well Mantis can do on this anti-mage, picking up farm from seemingly nowhere, getting sort of 12-13 minute battle fury, treads, then going into the forest and farming, even if his team has been pressured immensely. And with such an aggressive lineup as they've got, Earthshaker, Brewmaster, Windrunner, Maiden, all going to be looking out for ganks and applying pressure. It's going to be quite interesting to see how quickly he can get his items up. But as you said, the laning from Quantic is going to be the key factor here in how these sort of skirmishes on the lanes end up.
Oh man. Let us start the game, please, guys. There's some caster discussion going on Dota TV. Boards up on Earthshaker already. I want to see some level 1 Roshan strategies. Korok be my husband has is one guy's name here.
Yeah, we haven't seen level 1 Roshan in quite a while. Next did sort of cheese their way around with that strat a couple of times. But it's not really something they can do very often because people will catch them out.
Dum dum dum. Alright, once again guys, while we're in the pause, it would be lovely if you guys supported us on all those sites I just mentioned. My homepage is epiccommentary.com, and we will continue broadcasting the International 2 qualifiers. We'll also be casting the Pro Dota 2 League, Asia scene as well as the Europe scene, whichever games we find more interesting. For example, we prioritized Navi CLG over everything else today, but that got postponed, unfortunately. And also, I will be casting, together with Durker, another tournament coming up here pretty soon. I'm not even sure if we are allowed to talk about that just yet, but just more reasons why you should check out epiccommentary.com, not just the beta keys, which I will still throw towards you guys as long as I have any. And yeah, I hope the one guy that won, forgot his name again, enjoys his beta key. Probably downloading the game as we speak. Okay. So, some movement coming out here from both teams, and this looks promising, man. Look at this. The top lane, whoop, moving down, and the other top lane, whoop, moving up. Let's hope that they will meet, so we can see some good action. Korok still lagging behind in base. Has 100 gold left over, so he will most likely be looking again for that bottle, and that's like almost 100% certain because we've seen that build on him for a few games now. Quantic stops at the edge of their own river though, so it doesn't seem like they want to challenge or take over the enemy forest before the creeps spawn. So from the laning here, it does appear that Quantic Mikey will be either roaming or sitting Night Stalker on the long lane, which will be quite the interesting adaptation. But Last Hit Magic here, not too sure which one of the two jungles he will be heading in towards. Next.kz really aggressively moving around here, not placing any ward down just yet. Who has that anyway? Crystal Maiden might choose to go really aggressive over here, so they know what's going on. And on the bottom lane, we have Painted Gold. So usually Rasa would be sitting in the middle lane, but I guess they prioritize Korok's Morphling to be sitting on that. We have 3 Next.kz guys. Oh, look at this, equal increasing the battle points here. 3 Next.kz guys guarding the rune, and look at this here, anti-mage being also Son Goku on us.
Yeah, I don't know how well Korok's going to do here at this middle lane. Oh, Shadow Demon is actually rotating to mid. That's fine then, as I thought. Because without that Shadow Demon there at mid, Morphling wouldn't be able to sit there and farm because the maid would just permanently harass. Does look, however, that Last Hit Magic on Enchantress is going to be offensive jungling, but not wanting to go in right now because there are 3 Next.kz heroes converging on that area. Really, really sort of well felt there. He didn't know, but he could feel it.
And the entrance to the Dire Jungle is now, well, one half of the entrance, or part of the entrance, the main way into this area here has been warded off. So 1 ward down for each team. One is checking the high ground of the enemy middle lane as well as the top rune. The other one is checking top rune as well as the entrance way into the jungle for backstabs. And we'll see how this Rasta will fare on the bottom safe lane. Mantis now TPing in toward that one, and 570 on the Crystal Maiden will be right there to make sure he will get all the last hits he wants. And look at this really aggressive Blinken already. Frostbite range too low though, won't be able to get into range as well, so maybe a little bit premature Blinken from Mantis, but at least they forced Painted Gold back quite a ways. Rotation coming from Enchantress now with a Centaur, 2 Centaurs now in tow. Mikey will want to get some of that XP.
Yeah, deciding to go into their own forest, pick up a couple of creeps, and oh, here comes an initiation.
Centaur doesn't manage to get there in time, but there's Painted Gold right in time, and when you're frostbitten you can cast spells except for blink-based spells, and there he goes, nukes her to death. First blood goes to Quantic's Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, a little bit of misjudgment there from the Maiden, not assuming that Enchantress and Shadow Demon would be making their way down to this bottom lane. He thought they would be sitting, you know, more towards the mid lane, pick up a couple of creeps and gank them mid, but instead they made a really good decision and pulling over to this bottom lane, getting off an easy kill on the Maiden.
And I really like this. Already 2 minutes into the game, one Centaur being used to keep the aggro of the creeps away from where the action is actually happening. Mantis and as well as Crystal Maiden now have to move their way toward there to protect this tower, which is already down to 500 HP. So things are looking up for Quantic at the moment. One more push of that magnitude and the tier 1 tower is going to go down. In the middle lane, Korok doing his thing as always, already sitting on 12 last hits, so that's a really good farm rate, and 8 on the Brewmaster. Toward the top lane, Solara, all he has to worry about basically is soak up HP and get save last hits when he can. Keeps his Void on level 1, I hope he will continue to do that, just to save mana cost when he gets the last hits. He's just up against Windrunner without a support at the moment, so he will also be able to get some gold going, but I think the most action will actually be coming from this bottom lane here, so I'll keep my eyes on that.
Yeah, and with that bottom tower, it's not only the tower and the gold and the lane control they're going to get, that also reduces the amount of space Anti-Mage has to farm. He's going to possibly think about moving off to the top lane to try and farm somewhere if this bottom tower goes down too quickly. Oh, ES coming down to try and safeguard it, so they want to defend this rather than let it fall.
12 last hits now on the Anti-Mage, 2 on Earthshaker, Painted Gold sitting on 10, Mikey also only on 2. So they're just making sure that their core heroes will get their farm up. Korok in the middle lane is left all alone against this Brewmaster, and surprisingly enough though, he's down to 300 HP, maybe abusing the fact that he's a regen rune to play overly aggressive, because he knows he can just use that and be all well again. And now in terms of warding, the second ward for each team has gone down. This ward here is for the Dire and the bottom jungle. I really like that one because it gives you a vision of backstabs potentially, as well as the bottom rune. Mantis finds himself a haste rune that way, and another one basically for the Radiant equivalent of this ward up here of the Dire, making sure that they can see every kind of movement coming in from the enemy toward their jungle that is not protected by Smoke of Deceit.
You could see it in the eyes of Enchantress there, wanting to deny that haste rune, but realizing Panda was closing in on it, and then he does head down to this bottom lane. Gets spotted out by Enchantress's Satyr there, so he's going to head back. He wanted a little backstab gank here, but well spotted out by the Radiant.
Top lane, Solara exchanging hits with equal up to the very edge of the tower range. Really smart move here, sitting on boots as well as a stout shield and dodging the power shot. Doesn't have any mana though. He's probably going to look toward the bottle pretty quick here, but yeah, Korok also has one, so that might lead to some problems. Maybe he'll skip the bottle and go straight for an Urn of Shadows. We will see how the item progression will develop over time here. And now Mantis does get a little bit of time to last hit some creeps. The equilibrium is in his favor. He will make sure that this wave will be pushing in toward his tower. Even Rasa being nice and helping a little bit there with that nuke. As we were talking about, Next.kz is the team that is very much fluctuating when it comes to their performance, but when they hit peaks on their performance, they can take on any team. Quantic, of course, whenever especially Korok gets his hands on one of his signature heroes, they perform really, really well. As soon as what Korok usually does is he goes for the bottle, and then he will next farm up treads, and sometimes also just boots, and then he will go for the Ghost Scepter into the Ethereal Blade, and then he will start basically one-hitting low HP enemy heroes, and then getting out of harm's way by switching positions with his replicate that he had prepared beforehand. So that's a really effective way of getting safe kills and continue farming right after that.
Yeah, and we're seeing lots of items being picked up here. We've got phase boots on that Windrunner, bottle on the Night Stalker. He's going to be looking for some ganks now in his first night. Morphling with Ring of Aquila and his bottle as well. The Night Stalker looping around the back of this Brewmaster, who does have the Windrunner in support. The Diver's Tower, it might be trouble for them. No, Solara decides to back off there.
Taking the tower a little bit, wasting that mana for that silence in my opinion. Could have maybe cancelled that, but maybe spotted Windrunner a little bit too late. On the bottom lane, Imba Nado making its way toward the tier 1 tower. Lucky using his fissure to push to push the creep wave back a little bit again, and this tornado damage is not to be underestimated. Look at this Crystal Maiden's HP. I'm gonna just have her selected. Looking at the HP, and she just took around 150 damage, even through that tango that she used in preparation of that. So this Wildkin is a really nice neutral hero to pick up, and it's just chasing this Crystal Maiden. Look at this. Funny stuff. Mantis, as you were anticipating or suggesting earlier, did actually consider the option and switched toward the top lane. Will have a easier time against Solara. Although the support coming in the form of Mikey here, they don't want to give him all too much space. He has 2 levels on the Sword Catcher, 1 on Disruption and 1 on the Shadow Poison. Let's see if this diver is going to be effective. No, Solara is just scaring him away so he can secure his own farm. On the bottom lane, Next.kz's tri lane has kind of solidified. And where's their farmer? Oh yeah, he's on the bottom lane. There was Painted Gold, not Korok.
Yeah, this is the kind of play you see. Oh no, here we see a TP in bottom lane from the Brewmaster. I was going to say this is the kind of sort of static play you see from teams when they want their 2 big heroes to try and get as farmed as possible. They had the Shadow Demon TP to that top lane to try and hold him down, but they've realised that there's heroes missing all over the map. 4 of Next.kz heroes sitting at bottom lane, going to catch out the Shadow Shaman now.
Is under attack.
And Rasa drops immediately to his combination. Manages to throw his wards out before, but the wards, Crystal Maiden goes down. Korok's also here. They did manage to farm almost half of those wards equal here, being pretty cheeky, trying to get 1 or 2 more wards in. Korok does commence the chase here, has a double damage room, gets slowed by the nuke from Brewmaster. Lucky also in a little bit of trouble, but will be able to get away from Last Hit Magic. And that will be the end of that engagement. 1-for-1 exchange in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, equal there, not realising Korok had a double damage rune, copping 100 damage from a couple of hits from him. A load of damage sitting on Korok.
Shadow Demon also has that Smoke of Deceit, most likely in preparation of that Panda ultimate. Brewmaster, it's not a Panda in Dota 2, it's a Brewmaster. Oh, Korok gets a kill on that Brewmaster as well, so he must have moved himself kind of recklessly into that position. Power Shot flies through. But on the bright side for them though, the tier 1 tower on the bottom lane is down to 170 HP by now, and Korok might as well just... No, they want to do this with creep support, so they don't get that denied from underneath them. Replicate from Morphling now sent into the side here, so he will try to do something really funky now.
I'm not sure what though. Unless he's planning on replicating to that more waveform into the forest. Oh, Night Stalker came from behind.
Look at this here. Oh, he goes down before he could do anything. Really good chain stale. Brewmaster split here as well. Stun is going to hit on Painted Gold. He's definitely dead. Here comes some auto attacks. Some disable. Now 5-7. He has to jump in there and do the auto attack. Want to feed the kill to his mate, but Shadow Shaman would have almost survived due to that self he popped. Disruption here now out on that Windrunner. Is there going to be any follow-up? Nope. Next.kz gets away free with 2 kills on Quantic.
I'm wondering what the calls were coming out, because Solara there diving behind that tier 1 tower, silencing, voiding that Earthshaker, keeping him out of the fight. But there was no follow-up. If the Morphling had been there in time to waveform onto that ES, it would have been a free kill. But instead, the ES gets away on about half hit points, and Next.kz able to turn the fight.
Structures are fortified.
So Solara hasn't been ganking all too much. The attempts he has made weren't all too effective, so he looks to be using a little bit of that nighttime duration to continue keeping his farm up. Now buys up a TP scroll so he can join his teammates if the situation arises. And Next.kz on the bottom lane have been doing a really good job preventing the tower from falling and also getting good kills.
Yeah, Korok realising he can't do anything in these team engagements yet, so he's gone to the middle lane, and Starcat on that Brewmaster decides, okay, well, I'll go join you. I'm going to defend my mid tower, see if you can farm against me now. The only problem is going to be this anti-mage.
Disruption bottom lane up on the Windrunner. Are they going to follow up? It seems like they just use this to get rid of Windrunner on that position. Now the siege creep, you're also moving in toward the tower. Now Quantic is hard pressed move. They even use the ultimate from Rasta. And they get the deny on it.
Poor
Oh.
that was really poor micro from the Rasta there. His Serpent was attacking creeps instead of the tower. He could have easily taken the tower there. And we're going to see a Vanguard on the Santa Mage. He just picks up a Vitality booster. And with another K in his bank, most likely going to see that Ring of Health into Vanguard.
Yeah. Doesn't have his threads completed just yet, so all signs do point toward that Vanguard. Although we do sometimes see anti-mages just having that Stalchi for the early block, and when the game goes like in their favor, they here there's some disable, some Harris from Painted Gold, also Shackle. Is this a follow-up? I don't understand why. Oh, because Night Stalker is there. Yeah, exactly. Shackle shot longest one in the freaking world, but Quantic hasn't been able. Their ganks have been really ineffective actually. All they've done now is take 2 tier 1 towers. Have been trying to get those. Oh, another deny. The top lane.
2 out of 3 towers denied. But again, Solara coming in from behind and the heroes going for the gank, not focusing on the same hero. So I'm not sure if it's Solara going in and not listening to calls from Paint, or if it's Paint not telling Solara who to focus. But some...
Oh, look at this Purge here on equal, gets rid of the Wind Run and Last Hit Magic, as well as his creeps are just attacking him like crazy, but the proc of the Demonic Purge gets that kill on the Windrunner. Yeah, as you said, there was Rasta kind of throwing all his spells toward Anti-Mage, and Solara was trying to get a kill on Crystal Maiden. Maybe Solara miscalculated there, thought he could get a kill on Crystal Maiden and then join his buddy there, or it could have very well been the miscommunication internally there.
Mantis picks up his treads here, so like you said, it's possible he's keeping that Vitality booster for the heart later on and keeping that shield just for the damage block. But I'm not sure if he's going to transition into a Battle Fury or a Manta in between.
Yeah, we do see that as well. Sometimes they go for Battle Fury, or they skip the Battle Fury and go for a Manta style right away.
But I would like to see a Vanguard into Vlad's this game. It would be much more standard, I think, against a Rasta Morphling Night Stalker, especially with the Enchantress creeps as well. That damage block always helps.
Again, guys, unfortunately I'm just streaming in 480p. My processor is crappy. I thought it was really good, but apparently can't handle 720p. The recording gets really messy, so my apologies for that. I'm working on it. I will get a new processor as soon as I can, and then I can also stream in high quality. Try to get all these bottlenecks worked out, and also a new microphone is ready to go once I have a proper preamp. So thanks nonetheless for watching. Korok on the bottom lane, get some Harris in here, eats a stun, uses invisibility rune. Oh, it was the stick charges he used to get up there, get his HP back up. And here seems to be some pre-engagement movements coming out. Korok with his invisibility is looking for his chance, but Next.kz decides to turn
I'm not
back.
sure why Korok
Good
didn't
block
just
from
go.
Korok here on Stalkat, sorry, go ahead.
I'm not sure why Korok didn't just go there, because there was a Soul Catcher on that Brewmaster. But they could have tried to force the ulti out of him. Probably a little worried, seeing as there's 4 heroes missing from Next.kz, who are now rotating mid with a TP from Starcat. But Night Stalker, quick enough, getting away in time. But these Rasta Wars at mid, although dealing a lot of damage to this tier 2 tower, free gold for these guys. Alongside that, Anti-Mage up to 1.2k again. He isn't going for the Vanguard, looks like he's skipping straight past that. He's, I don't know, possibly going for this Battle Fury. Let's see what he does now, going to the
Korok
secret shot.
first stun, and then waveforms himself alongside the Fissure, hitting nothing and replacing his replicate, which was standing at the middle tier 1 of the Radiant. I'm gonna resume farm.
Mantis isn't sure himself. He just went to the secret shop and walked around for about 2.5 seconds wondering, should I buy the Ring of Health and get Vanguard now? Should I? I've got 1400 gold. And I'm wondering whether he's going to save up for that ultimate orb and go for Manta, or go into a Yasha for the damage and movement speed, or if he will actually go for that Battle Fury, because he will be able to get that by about the 22nd, 23rd minute if he carries on at this rate.
Yeah, that could very well be. And it is a tough decision. You might realize that the right-click output from Quantic side isn't really that great just yet to maybe justify Vanguard, and thus he thinks it might actually be a little bit of a short-lived advantage he will get out of that gold spent. And yeah, he doesn't level his spell sheet up a whole lot, even though Quantic does have a lot of magical damage, so it's justified that Mantis might not be quite sure what to go for here at this point.
I don't know. I would say the Vanguard would definitely be justified with the Serpent Wards, with the Morphling right click, with the Balanar right click, with the Enchantress creeps and Enchantress right click. All going to be doing lots of damage, and if he's got that Vanguard, he'll be blocking loads of it. So it would definitely be a good item to pick up, but he does go for the Claymore. That's 1400 gold. So he's going into that Battle Fury.
Alright, let's quickly have a look at the items here while I follow Windrunner, who is besieging the tier 1 in the middle a little bit. Might turn into a team fight here, so I'll keep my eyes peeled for that. Quantic Mikey picked up Arcane Boots. Korok is on his way to his Ethereal Blade, has a Ghost Scepter completed. Also Arcane Boots on Painted Gold, so he will make sure with Mikey that his team will be able to spam out all those spells. Solara, he will most likely pick up a Vanguard though, because he will be the diving tank for them. Last hit magic. Just beefed up a little bit through those power treads. Might go for, well, they don't have a mech yet. Maybe she will go for that, and then for drums and or Aghanim Scepter afterwards. Mantis, as you pointed out, is now going to head toward his Battle Fury. Has a Claymore completed. We'll have that done pretty soon. Didn't want to spend those 875 gold to delay his farm to that way. Questionable decision indeed. Lucky as well. Starcat also sitting on Arcane Boots, and Windrunner will most likely go toward for a mech on the Next.kz side. Well, if I look at the gold graph here, it spiked up a whole bunch in favor of the Radiant. Now settles at around 2,000 gold advantage for Quantic. And in terms of EXP, was spiking up and down for the entire game, and now is sitting in the dire side.
Yeah, but as you were saying earlier with Solara's mana management, about a minute ago he cast both his spells onto a Hasted Brewmaster for no reason whatsoever. So, and we've seen quite a few unusual moves from him, some failed ganks, some miscommunication, some mistargeting, and I'm not sure if it's him feeling uncomfortable on this hero, because remember, this was the Night Stalker they picked with 3 seconds remaining, so it was a hasty pick they had to make there. And I don't think they have a key Night Stalker hero like a lot of the teams do, with Havost playing the Night Stalker usually on Navi, and Synderen with his lovely Night Stalker play. But
Oh, look at this initiation on the tier 1 on the Radiant side. Panda immediately uses ultimate in defense, so he will be safe for the moment. The question is, will Next.kz follow up to initiate this fight? Korok is taken out of the fight. Now Mantis and Equal can move in as the creep wave is dead, but tier 1 tower goes down. Will Next.kz settle for this? And they will. Quantic Painted Gold on his Rasta did pick up really good Shackle here, but a really fast Voodoo also on those heroes. And now Next.kz has them surrounded. Rasta wards drop, but immediately Rasta falls after he dropped those, and double kill with 1 ultimate from Anti-Mage, trading that those 3 deaths for 1 kill on the Panda. The fight is not quite over yet, because Korok here is also in trouble, is morphing to strength and wayfaring himself to the other way, and now had Replicate sitting in base.
Yeah, that fight, giving Anti-Mage the farm he needs. He's very, very close to Battle Fury now. Picks up his broadsword, and he is ever so close to picking up that Perseverance.
Yeah, might have that done right after this creep camp here, actually. Next.kz's Earthshaker.
Yes, Blink Dagger.
So this will be the time when there's 2 things to keep in mind now. In terms of item progression, Earthshaker is basically settled now. He has what he needs. Let's check out the Panda here. He will also have a Blink Dagger done pretty soon if he chooses to go for that. I would like to see that. Some double Blink initiation here. Windrunner can sit on the outside, on the outskirts and shackle, and Mantis can go in there. But Mantis will put emphasis on farming for sure once he has the battlefield completed, and his farm will spin out of control. As you said, he will have it actually bought up at around 21, 22 2 minutes, and from then on he will use every free minute he has to farm. And Next.kz will then basically most likely switch their playstyle from what we're seeing currently into something a little bit more passive, where they will probably will be thinking about defending their outer towers, but won't be focused on pushing so much, because they will have the win in terms of gold per minute on Mantis. The question will be if Korok will be able to take him on, and what do you think?
What we're going to see in the next 2 minutes is a 5-man push. We're going to see Next.kz trying to push their advantage, take a tower with ES sitting on the outskirts. They're going to try and force Quantic to TP and defend, and then blink into an Echo Slam and try and team wipe them, and then take a couple of towers.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now they do have the item advantage with that Blink Dagger on ES. They've got no idea. Mech on Windrunner, brilliant pushing power. Battle Fury and Vitality Boost on that Anti-Mage, so he has tanked up a little bit, and he's got that damage output as well.
It wouldn't surprise me if Anti-Mage might also go for Vladimir's offering at this point.
Yeah, take a look at mid lane. 4 heroes converging. They're going to go for this tier 1.
Smoke from
try and force
Quantic.
something out of it.
Solara thought about it, backed off though. He was probably sitting right on the edge of the range, which will dispel the smoke. Lucky showed his blink dagger on illusion there.
That is really unfortunate for Next.kz. If they'd kept that dagger safe, safe and secret, then they would have had a huge upper hand over Quantic. I mean, that blink dagger into Echo Slam is such a surprise for any team, especially
Mantis,
if you get...
where's Silent Solara? Oh man. Pain of Gold even blinking in so fast, but fast fingers on that Mantis. And look at the support from Next.kz moving in immediately, and now Quantic has to be on their way out. Mikey is going to turn around most likely and disrupt this guy here. Oh. Managed to TP out in time. Really smart play, realizing Brewmaster has nothing to stop him there.
Yeah, he didn't know the Maiden was coming up behind, but she was about a second or so away from being able to cast the Frostbite to cancel that TP, so good decision there.
Oh, Korok
away.
here. Oh my goodness. Had used his 4-step, but this will only... Even the ultimate from Panda, are you serious? Down he goes.
I think Starkite got a bit overzealous there.
Yeah, totally. Here in the middle lane, 570 on that Crystal Maiden, looks in trouble, tries to shoot his way out there, but actually it's Rasta who's in trouble. Next.kz Lucky uses his Earthshaker Blink there to initiate on Solara, and Starkite following up right after him, but he will seem to get away just fine. But Earthshaker also goes down 2 for 2 so far. Disruption also goes out on Panda. He would love to have his ultimate ready right now. Lasting Magic manages to TP out in time. Really interesting.
The skin of his teeth, but Solara again not playing to the full capabilities of his hero.
Mantis did pick up a Blade of Alacrity as we were analyzing. He will be spending time farming whenever he's not desperately needed or he really has to be there. So his Mantis style will be coming with the next 5.
Even less. I mean, that's Yasha done now. He is getting really close to being unstoppable.
Equal here. Getting gold by Solara, keeps on attacking, but Starkhead's also in the vicinity, and... Oh, Korok, really nice move here. Has his Ethereal Blade completed and helps his buddy Nightstalker to get the kill there.
Yeah, that was really clever play, going to the high ground so you can get vision for that E-Blade into Adaptive Strike.
Yeah, that was really good actually. That was pretty smooth.
See, there's little things like that that separate players like Korok from the sort of regular professional players. Really creative ideas. So the regular player would have tried to continue chasing and tried to get the waveform on the hero, but instead Korok calculated, did the maths. He thought, okay, well I can almost kill him with E-Blade Adaptive Strike, and I've got Nightstalker here who can avoid from a long range. All he needs is vision. So I'm going to get onto the high ground, and then we've got vision for the rest of the skirmish, and we can just take him straight out.
Yeah. That was probably exactly the dialogue that went through his head at the time.
Except it all happened in the space of half a second.
Well, look at this fissure here, initiating. Probably not going to follow up on Korok though, just trying to get rid of this creep wave. So, Mantis at 22 minutes completed his Yasha, is now continuing to farm toward his Manta style, and yeah, Next.kz. The rest is just grouping up as 4, and this is the game that they want to play. And the Quantic are the ones that currently seem to be a little bit dumbfounded as to how to approach this game. It does really make sense, this theory that Quantic doesn't have a reliable or really adept Nightstalker player, because he hasn't been working all that great up to now.
Yeah, the lineup was very based on single target. You've got the Hex, you've got the Shackle, you've got the Nightstalker, you've got the Adaptive Strike and the E-Blade, and then you've got the Shadow Demon and Impetus. All sort of aiming at taking one hero and bursting them down as quickly as possible. So they're going to be looking at this Windrunner and Maiden, just trying to take them out of the fight as soon as possible, possibly even both at the same time, just trying to nuke them down, remove them from the fight completely, because that'll remove the mech, the mana aura, and a couple of disables. So leaving that Panda alone to fight, he won't have the damage output, and Anti-Mage will not have the survivability to stay in his fight against a Morphling and Nightstalker, silencing and DPSing them down. On the other side, though, Next.kz does have quite nice teamfight potential with the Earthshaker Echo Slam. If they can catch out 3 or 4 heroes and a creep wave,
Smoke into Roshan here. So Quantic did make a decision and decide that whatever they will do from this point on, doing it with an Aegis on Korok will be the better way. Even the wards used here and imp spam from Enchantress, and this is sad. Roshan went down so fast, and Korok does have the Aegis now. We'll see what they will do from here.
I think Next knew they were smoked. They were all waiting in their forest thinking they were going to be ganked, because as I was saying, the Quantic side want to go and pick people off. So they were all protecting each other on the top lane in their own forest and not actually realizing that Quantic had gone to Roshan.
Mm-hmm. So that is actually pretty interesting. This is a best of 3, by the way, guys, of the International 2 qualifiers. The next game will come up basically right after that. We'll have about a 6-minute break because of that delay thing going on. I will try to use that time to get a little bit to eat into my stomach because I am really, really hungry. And at the moment, though, it does seem like Next.kz will have this in the late game, but we got to keep in mind that it is Korok's Morphling that they are up against. Although Next.kz do have a Brewmaster as well as an Anti-Mage who has completed his Battle Fury after, what was it, like 19 minutes?
I can't even remember.
Something like that.
He had Vitality, he had to tank up early. But now he's got a Manta still on top of that, so his farm rate, dramatically increased after the Battle Fury. He just sat in the forest and pushed out all the lanes.
Equal here on the Windrunner. Mech gonna go for an Orchid by the looks of it, and I think that Mech will really help. What I would like to see now, though, is someone starting to finish up a pipe, because that would also very much help them. I think they might attempt to finish up that pipe before they will decide to actually finish the game, or they might omit it completely, although that would really dumbfound me. And Enchantress is 700 gold away from her Agnum Scepter, and that will make her put out so much damage in a team fight. Enchantress, that's like one of the factors that make me almost think Enchantress is at least up to par with... Oh, look at this! Sorry, I was just busy theory crafting as Korok loses Aegis and has to wait for himself out. Got caught there by Next.kz. And is not quite out of harm's way yet. Lucky blinks in, stops him with a Fissure, even using his ultimate, chain-signing him like crazy, and Brewmaster's Clap gets the last hit. So really good execution, double kill here on that Morphling.
The build-up play, they take out his Aegis and they back off, and Korok thinks, okay, I'm safe. They're not actually going to try and go on me. They think that I can escape. Okay, I can escape. And Earthshaker blinks in, Anti-Mage blinks in, and he's dead. The disable there into the Anti-Mage DPS, just too much for him. He was caught completely off guard.
Rasta will also go towards that Agnum Scepter, and it was all looking good for Quantic up to this point. They lose their buddy Korok, and he is the one that their strategy or their game plan revolves around. So now Chase is commencing on Solara here during nighttime. They should stop it right about now, yeah. And now Mantis realizes I can be spending this time here farming, because this Manta style ain't enough, man. I do want a hard complete it now. I already have my Vitality booster sitting on 2.3k gold. I need around 2,000 gold, and then I'm good to go for that. Shackle latches on Nightstalker. Are they gonna go on this? Oh, Stalkcat here might be in trouble. He does have his ultimate ready. The question is, will they chain disable him? Nice chain disable with the silence of Solara. Get the kill on Brewmaster before he can split to survive. And now Next.kz do have to back the heck out.
And here's what I'm talking about. Quantic side excels at taking down single target
Whoa.
heroes. Morphling right there showing it. He can take out the Windrunner instantly. Windrunner and Maiden are going to be his targets, and like Mikey, Lastit Magic, and Solara and the Nightstalker just showed, the 3 of them can take out the Brewmaster alone with a Soul Catcher. So Next.kz really have to step up their game and start grouping up and taking these team fights, because they need to team fight.
Tower trade here. Mantis will get the kill. Now blink himself out of the vision here, but Paint! Oh man. This was promising blink, but not fast enough. And now here, look at this tier 3 tower of Next.kz's dire side is taking a crap load of damage really fast. Below half HP now. Earthshaker doesn't quite have his ultimate ready just yet. Needs about 20 seconds more. But next, Quantic is happy with this. Took a tower trade and damaged down the tier 3 tower. Got a kill on Windrunner. Just showcasing Korok's burst damage potential. And Mantis is going to go ahead and buy up a BKB. Okay. So I was wrong in thinking that he would complete up the heart right now. He doesn't think it's time for that heart just yet. Prefers the magic immunity at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get hexed. That Rasta's going to be looking for him. The Morphling will be targeting the two support heroes, and that Rasta will just be looking to hex and shackle this anti-mage, keep him down. But when that BKB, he'll be able to evade that, hopefully, and jump in to deal a load of damage.
Yeah, guys, again, look at this. Gets himself stuck in the trees. He does this a lot, doesn't he?
Well, so do I. It happens to all pro players.
People, I want to thank you very much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. It's so nice of you, even with this 480p stream. As I said, I will work on getting the visual quality up. Please continue to follow me a little bit. Continue to check in regularly because the quality will improve. We're still learning a little bit though, but just happy to be casting in the International 2 qualifiers as well as the Pro 2 League. As we see, Nightstalker here getting shackled to a tree, gets focused on by the whole shebang. Next.kz side go ahead and aren't quite done just yet. Panda here seems to be a little bit trigger happy when it comes to his ultimate button.
Yeah, using it as often as possible. And take a look at the warding here from Quantic. Very, very hyper-aggressive warding, but they're being pushed back into their own territory. And the ward up on that hill, I'm not sure how to point it out, but the one on the high ground north of the mid tower.
Yeah.
That was a really smart placement there. They saw the Maiden come across and place her own observer ward in that exact same place.
Yeah. It is a good place for an observer ward once you have the tier 2 and mid down as the Dire. And also
Especially against an ES with Blink Dagger, because that would be the natural place for him to sit. On top of that high ground, wait for the Quantic side to group up, and then blink on top of them.
Mantis didn't use his BKB just yet, and he's just such an experienced carry player. I really like that guy, and he will make sure that he will continually have that income to carry his team. Now, though, might be the time for a heart, because he does have the magic immunity that now has reduced damage due to his passive. Mantis style as well, so a heart would be very well to sustain him in those team fights once that BKB wears off. And that first duration, that first 10-second duration of that BKB will be very important. I hope that he will use it correctly, or like use it at a really convenient point in time so he can make the most of that, because that will be 10 seconds of hell for Quantic.
Yeah, exactly, because as I said, that Rasta's going to be looking to hex him, so if he gets that BKB off before the hex, the Rasta's going to be thinking, who the hell do I focus then? Because Morphling's going to be jumping in, trying to kill the two support heroes, Windrun and Maiden. The Panda's going to be splitting himself up, so there's going to be Earthshaker sitting in the background. There'll be almost no one for Rasta to focus on, and he'll probably get picked off early on.
Next.kz was most likely anticipating a surprise push from Quantum on their top tier 2 tower, sitting there with the smoke, and now they move themselves into the force of the enemy, find themselves, as you said, Enchantress. Panda, though, already blinking up to Solara because she drops so damn fast, and now Solara has to use his BKB defensively, but is still in trouble, might not make it out here. His BKB is a pretty long duration. Next.kz diving him right underneath his tower, and they will continue. BKB now wears off. Here comes the clap with a slow. Auto attacks are enough. The power shot gets last hit. Oh.
Maiden.
Tank Maiden.
Korok had haste there, so he could have possibly waveformed in and run away, but not wanting to take that risk at this point in the game with two of his teammates already dead.
Next.kz making acquaintance with backdoor protection.
Doing exactly what they should be doing, grouping up as 5 with Earthshaker sitting off to the side, waiting for that Echo Slam, and just DPSing down the heroes. Quantic attacking them one by one, getting caught out there, surprised by this smoke gank into their forest from the side, sort of expecting them to come from that ramp near the Roche pit.
So the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane for Quantic did go down, and Next.kz still hanging around here, stealing a little bit of farm from Quantic, and it really seems like Korok is on his way to a Skadi, but he will need at least another item on top of that to be able to take on Next.kz's team, as he will be like in the correct fashion. We'll check Solara here. He has a BKB as well as a Vanguard, and only 1.7k HP, so he's not as tank as Quantic would want him to be.
Okay, I was wondering what Korok was doing. I didn't realize that he sent the courier to the secret shop, but he had the money for the Skadi.
Oh, okay.
He picked it up now and a TP scroll.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Quantic not out of this game yet at all. Scores 11-12, at 36 minutes in, but now Next.kz think it's their time to go in. 2.8k gold on Anti-Mage, farming up all those creeps here, going onto the high ground. So that's the BKB ready. Blink goes in from Brewmaster as well, anticipating maybe a hero that he could catch out of position here. And look at this tier 3 tower.
There's not much Quantic can do against this with the DPS output of Anti-Mage, because they don't have a Ravage or an Echo Slam that can come in and clear out these creep waves. They've got to try and focus down one hero.
Blink
But
in
look,
onto last hit magic here, drops like nobody's business. Painted Gold here is going to follow shortly after. 2 heroes dead, now Rasa wards drop before he himself dies. Buyback immediately. Next.kz. Oh, it's Solara here trying to get the Earthshaker, but doesn't even actually get the kill. Will die himself here, most likely. He gets the blink from Mantis, and Quantic looking in big trouble. Korok also gets silenced up immediately. Hasn't used the Ethereal Blade just yet, but look at his HP drop so quickly. No one dead from Next.kz just yet, and the ultimate from... That's a DG for sure, I think so too. The ultimate from Anti-Mage securing that last hit, and his Wicked Sick spree at the bottom racks for Quantic will most likely drop now.
yeah, Starcut and Mantis there interrupting me. I was going to say that Quantic have no big initiation, and as I was saying that, they're going to get blinked upon, and Anti-Mage and Brewmaster blink straight on top of them, and they can't do anything about it.
Now Next.kz fully satisfied with winning that team fight as well as getting himself a bunch of gold. If I look at this gold graph here, in the early game it was in the favor of Quantic for a short time before Next.kz took a hold of this game and pulled it into their favor. Same with the EXP graph, way in favor of Next.kz at this point in time. And if we look at the item progression, the only hero that's really farmed is Korok, but it's not enough for him just yet. Painted Gold isn't getting close to his Aga at all because he did have to buy back, but he is doing alright because he's Point Booster Ogre Axe as well as a Blink Dagger. Solara might be a little bit underfarmed for my taste, and Last Hit Magic with that Aghanim Scepter is looking pretty good, although they are missing a mech on there, and mech is something that Next.kz do have on equal their Windrunner. The Orchid also completed. We saw him use it against Morphling in that team fight, and Mandus now has a Heart also completed, so he looks really strong, and I don't think Quantic has a lot to defend pushes from them, and Next.kz will have an interest in finishing the game here relatively quickly because they don't want to take chances with this Morphling.
Brewmaster picks up his Aghanims, and I think now the call in the Next.kz TeamSpeak is going to be which lane do we want?
Yeah.
Because they can do the exact same thing again. Put Anti-Mage up on that high ground, he's got enough HP, he's got enough sustainability and damage to take down this tower just by himself and his Mantra Illusions. He's not going to be able to focus down by these Quantic side because there won't be enough damage to come out. The rest of his team will sit on the low ground with the ES Fisher, the Maiden, the Shackle, the Brewmaster being able to blink on top of things, all able to keep the Quantic side at bay.
Absolutely. Next.kz has been playing really nicely. They knew exactly what their picks enabled them in terms of gameplay, and they executed it perfectly. Mantis made sure to get his farm potential up and running as soon as he could. Then made the most of that, as we can see by his item set, and the rest of his team were grouping up as 4 when the mid game hit, and we're doing very well and giving Mantis the space he needed. Now he's farmed enough that he can take the leadership of his pack.
No, he didn't spot it, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I thought Mantis spotted the Radiant Courier there. I'm not sure where it was going, but it almost went into the sight of Mantis there. And here they go at mid, yeah, pressuring up this mid lane. Mantis will be pressuring the top lane, trying to push that in, taking out the creep waves, skipping ahead his own. But they'll be looking towards this mid tier 3 tower. Sit the Anti-Mage on that high ground, damage down the tower, and keep the rest of the heroes on the low ground to support him.
Just waiting for the initiation here from Next.kz. Panos is waiting for the chance to blink in, ulti, cause a lot of confusion, and then Mantis will be in there to clean up as well.
Again, you see the position of the Earthshaker. He just came down from that high ground. No defensive wards up from Quantic. All their wards now are technically aggressive. Too far outside of their base. Their field of view not so great, and smoke up there. I'm not sure that Illusion or Replica saw that. It's possible it did. They're looking for them. I think it did see the smoke. So Quantic are going to be
Korok spots him
here.
out. There we go. Oh, silence, double blink up there. Korok gets focused down, gets disrupted. Really nice work here by the Shadow Demon, but still, Rasta drops before he can throw his ultimate. Korok here there's nothing he can do. He has to make sure that he survives himself, and in the meantime, his team will be left to the destructive power of Next.kz. Only one hero drops, but Next.kz will quickly transition here now into some racks, I think. But for some reason,
Yeah, we'll quickly transition into mid lane. We'll quickly.
yeah.
We'll quickly. No. they're going to continue farming bottom lane.
Man, here's Silence. Where's the Solara guy? There he is, going on Crystal Maiden, the only target that they can actually have. And man, too much resources spent on that Crystal Maiden, in my opinion. Now Solara here is going to be out of. Oh, but he got a double kill. Nice work. Brewmaster also went down. Next.kz might have to back off here now.
No, they're going to pick off Korok again.
Oh,
Or at least attempt to. Oh, brilliant shackle there.
Mikey
All
making sure they will get the
position
kill here.
Mikey.
Godlike streak on Mantis, and this will be GG.
Yeah, a huge creep wave on this bottom lane, allowing them to push in, and all other lanes pushed. Like I was saying, the anti-mage was clearing out the creep waves all along the top lane, so that lane has all been pushed in. They were pressuring mid earlier, so that's being pushed in, and bottom lane naturally being pushed in, seeing as they have the barracks advantage. So this game is definitely going the way of Next.kz.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks.
It appears like Quantic will really have to start thinking of some new things. They can't rely solely on Korok, and it's also something that I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to point my finger at. Maybe, of course, the Night Star could have performed a little bit better, but yeah, it's just not working out for them at the moment.
Well, the problem is if they had Korok on this Morphling, he loves the E-Blade. So he's going to be a single target hero. He's going to be looking at nuking, damaging down one hero until they die, which usually is instant. But the trouble is they've tried to build their team around that in the past couple of games with some success. But most of the success has come when they've balanced out their team with pushing power, nuking power, creep, the ability to bring down creep waves quickly, and also AoE. A huge part of team fights in Dota is about AoE. If you're going 5v5, you want to be able to spread the damage across all these heroes and do as much damage to them as possible. And with this Quantic lineup, like I was saying earlier, it's a lot of single target damage. So if they go into a team fight, they can try and focus down one hero, but as we saw, they didn't. They were focusing 1, 2,
Oh,
3
really,
heroes.
really good anticipation from Solara here. Did you see this? Holy shit, that was amazing. I will highlight this in my description of that video. But Solar might actually catch him right now. Oh, I want to see this. Yeah, lucky, poor bastard.
Come here, yes.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. Oh man. Yeah, but that was a GG. Disconnects coming out. Rapier now on anti-mage as well.
Yeah, to find Rapier and anti-mage.
Why do you hate Ginger so?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Korok, just good enough.
Come get healed. Where are you going?
Come on, guys, quit the game. It's just Enchantress and Morphling left now.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There goes the disconnects out. Guys, I'm going to stop the recording here pretty soon once the endgame stream comes up. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Check out epicommentary.com for staying updated with all the new casts coming up. Check out Durka, also my co-caster, on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Durka Dota. And again, thank you very, very much here. Next.kz takes the first win in the best of 3 series against Quantic for the International 2 Qualifiers West. And we'll head ourselves into the game here in around 6 minutes, the second game that is. So stay tuned, guys. Beta key questions or shoutouts or random pick will also come up right after this. Quickly, like the end game screen here. So yeah, look at Mantis. Tells the story of the game. They did a really good strategy in keeping him safe, and he did a really good job farming. And they just outfarmed, outplayed their enemies, Quantic, who will now try to get a revenge kill and head themselves into a third game and take that one for themselves as well. So interesting match coming up here pretty soon.